What's up, Ecamm live community? Brian Fanzo, iSocial Fans here, and well, I just wanted to say hello. I'm in Virginia, which is not a bad view, cool little functionality there. But I just wanted to say what's up. I'm excited to hopefully inspire you to press the damn button, but also understand the importance of authenticity, keeping it real, rolling with the punches, and really embracing the power that is live video. And the interesting part about live video is it is really participatory and allows that connection, and for me, that's what it's all about. And so let's go inside and let's get this presentation kicked off with. But I just wanted to give you a little taste of beautiful Virginia, as I know we're all locked down and not being able to travel. This is your little taste to be able to travel here to Virginia. Now let's head up to my office and get this session started on pressing the damn button. So come with me. Oh, if you have kids, you'll know that, what this is. I got my Maui hook. All right, so we're gonna go right through here. My daughter's room's over on that side, right through the curtains, and let's get this show started. And you gotta be yourself, right? You gotta know how to do it. So let's go. All right. What's up, everybody? Brian Fanzo here. Hopefully you guys liked a little bit of a taste of Virginia, and bring you on a little bit of a journey before we get talking pressing the damn button. And I'm excited. I have a fun presentation for you guys today, so hopefully you're in the mood for something a little bit different, a little bit unique. And if you guys follow me and watch some of my YouTube videos and the live streams that I do, this is a different background for me, and well, it's for the presentation just for you guys. And so let's get into it. And really, for me, I've been blessed. I've been doing live streaming now for many years, and one of the things that I like to think about in the live streaming medium is how much fun it is to explore and try different things. And I think this is a perfect example of an area where we all get to learn together. So hopefully you guys are as excited as I am to kind of learn new ways to live stream, new ways to interact, and even new ways to present content. So if you guys are ready to do just that, let's do a little, where are we at here? Let's do a little, you guys ready? Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. Look at this is a nice little overlay. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk a little bit about press the damn button. And I know for many of us, well, we get stuck in our heads. Yep, we get stuck in our heads on not only how do we leverage live video, but am I good enough? Or we make all of the excuses in the world. And really what I'm gonna focus on for this presentation is to kind of walk you through some of the nuances, some of the things that I've learned, some of the things I still have to embrace. And hopefully it's to open your mind to a perspective that says, hey, this is how we can move forward. And I've launched live streaming for big brands. I've done it for myself growing my speaking business. I've done it for small businesses. I've helped my friends, my family. And so for me, kind of pulling all of that together, where do we start? And the first thing I think we just really have to understand and kind of start with is we have to understand that, well, everything's changing, yet everything's still the same. We're all human. And this is a picture of my dad. I'm my dad is a big influence on me and my career and a lot of my thought process. And funny enough, he has nothing to do with video, does not like live video. We did our first Zoom for his birthday a couple weeks ago, and he just thought that was mind-blowing, although slightly overwhelming. My mom kind of had to run that. But some of the things that my dad taught me and some of the things that my dad instilled in me was the importance of our name, the idea of how much our name meant something, the value of having a strong handshake, the importance of our reputation and making sure that our reputation is something that we take into not only value, but it's something that we think is very important in everything that we do. And then we were kind of taught to not only work smart, but understand that we need to let our work do the talking for us, to be humble, to be gracious. And I can tell you, when we look at business today, and I'm in live streaming for business, let's make no mistake about it. When we look at live streaming and all of these things, all of these characteristics are all extremely important and still relative today, well, except one. And when we think about it, that one that is slightly changing is that if you are waiting to let your work do the talking for you, if you're instilled in this idea that people buy from people they like, and well, they just don't buy from people they don't like. They kind of buy from people that they have that lukewarm feeling for. We're going to get drowned out by the bad news, the fake news, and well, the corona news. And so I love my dad and I love my dad's advice because these are all extremely important in building trust. But right now, you can't let yourself wait to let your work do the talking for you. If you're waiting to let the work do the talking for you, you're going to be drowned out by people selling unicorns and rainbows and BS. And so when I look at live video and we look at all of the change around us, and someone says, Brian, why do I need to do live video? I'm already on social media. I already understand that I do regular video. Why? Here's the thing. That to cut through the noise, to stand out, you have to let people, well, look in your digital eyeballs. But beyond looking in your digital eyeballs, it's your job to tell the story. It's your job to own and put your things out there. And so when I look at this, I know that this is difficult, and I know that live streaming for many of us is very, outside of our comfort zone. Like, I have no problem talking, I have no problem getting up on stage, but sometimes there is like, oh, do I want to waste people's time, like, doing this video? Or why would anybody even watch this? Like, what is the value of, someone even tuning in for this? Like, what does that matter? And so all of those things go through our head. But if we remember that our options are let other people tell our story for us, or get drowned out by fake news and bad news, or we press the damn button and we tell our story, I think it becomes a no-brainer. I think it's something that we then can understand the importance of putting ourselves out there and really embracing live video. Now, we understand that, hey, things are changing. Many things are still the same that my dad has instilled in us for years upon years. And so now when we look about all these things going on through our head, one of the things I know for many of us that we start thinking about is, well, who do we talk to and who do we be? And so one of my things here, and this is kind of like the tough truth, is that if you are a good person doing good things, which I think most of you in here that are watching this session are, then my number one advice is to be yourself. To be the one thing that nobody else can be. And that can be tough. And now the caveat to this is, and I know that's not all of you that are out there, but if you suck, if you're a bad person, if you're not, if you're one of those people who sells unicorns and rainbows, don't be yourself on live video. Like, be somebody else. But for everyone else, it's extremely important to be yourself. And this what I'm saying here is, I think, probably the entire mantra of it, right? Because when I say be yourself and to tell your story, too often I get things like, Brian, I don't like bragging about myself. I don't want to come off as like pounding my chest or telling people how great I am. And this is where I want us to kind of wrap our head around this, is that it's not about telling people how great you are. Rather, it's allowing people inside, giving them access to who you are while shining the spotlight on them. Yeah, give them access into who you are, telling your story, explaining your journey. And I think this is really one of those places where we understand that we don't need to be an expert. We don't need to know everything. But we do have to understand the importance of being ourselves, because I can tell you, if you are struggling to be good on social media, if you're struggling to embrace live video, I would guess, and you don't have to answer this while you're watching it, but my guess is that the reason you're struggling is not because of the video, not because of the platforms, not because you don't know what to say. Rather, you're trying to be or convey something that you are not. I believe it's the biggest roadblock to success on here. And so it does take time, and I do believe it's something that you gradually get better at. But I do believe that if you really want to embrace the importance of live video, you really want to start to leverage it in all aspects of your business, you do have to be yourself. Now, when we think about it, here at the beginning, okay, things are changing and we're evolving and we have to tell our story. Now we're like, okay, it's important for me to be myself and put myself out there. Well, now our question becomes, what do I do? Like, hey, Brian, like, where does all this fall in? And so I look at this like threefold, right? I think of it in three different ways when we're thinking about live video, right? I think about creating live video, which means you're creating an episodic show or a regular scheduled program, right? I mean, let's face it, I can guarantee a lot of the sessions in this event, they're gonna hammer home consistency. Like, consistency is the number one secret for success on live video, no questions asked. But when we think about the different types of live video content, you can create a show, you can create something that's episodic, something that has structure, that can walk people through something that they understand. But that can be overwhelming for many of us, and that's not the only type of live video that you can embrace. The second one here is document, right? Documenting what you have going on, giving people a peek behind the scenes. Let's say you're a small business, giving people, live stream access for Q&A with your CEO, or maybe, before the store opens, let them vote on what should be on sale for the day inside of your business, right? Allowing them kind of behind the scenes, documenting your journey. It's a lot less about, crafting a story and having something that's, consistently delivered. Rather, hey, I'm just gonna document what's happening, coming along with me. And then the third one is curating, right? Curating an experience, curating an interview, allowing people to, take something great that's going on and connect it with live video. And here's the piece that I always like to stress when it comes to live video is that live video will not replace what you do offline, and it will not make what you do offline all of a sudden that much better. But what it will do is it will amplify and expand the possibilities and your connection with your audience. And it's so important to understand that it's about shrinking that distance between yourself and the audience. And when it comes online, a blog post, a tweet, a Facebook post, even a produced video, all of these things are ways of telling your story and connecting, but there's nothing more authentic, more real than the power of live video, and you can do it in any one of these forms. Now, the answer to hey, okay, I understand I can do it in these forms, but where do I think about the process here? Well, the process is this one word. The one word I want you to remember when you're thinking about live video content is access. How do I give people access into who I am, what I do for a living, why I do what I do, how I get these things done? And I think this is one of those places that you can give people access through all these types of content. So it doesn't matter if you have a show, it doesn't matter if you're documenting something around a big release or a product coming out, or maybe something that you're working on. It doesn't matter if you're highlighting maybe a local, let's just say a state farm, a state fair that's going on. Well, hopefully they'll be going on, in the future. The idea of allowing something else that's going on and bringing people there, letting them look through your lens and being a part of that. And these are, three critical areas that you can really embrace live video in ways that you might not have thought of before. And that allows you to kind of, swim this lane. Because I know a lot of us are live video is great, but I don't have the time. And what do I talk about? And I'd rather spend my time doing the things I love doing. But these are some of the things that you can kind of still make that happen. Because let's face it, we are all in the business of trust. And I told you those characteristics my dad built in me, right? People buy from people they like, but people also buy from people that they can relate to. I would make the argument, if you think about it this way, think about all of the products or the influencers or the people that are out there that have inspired you to buy something. Why have you bought something, right? Maybe even why did you sign up for Ecamm Live? Why did you get this tool? More than likely it's because someone that you can relate to that either has the same business as you, maybe the same style as you, maybe someone that you have that trust with over time told you that this tool was the best tool out there for live streaming, or they explained a scenario that you're like, hey, that scenario is much like mine. That's a tool that I'm probably gonna jump into, right? And it's that trust. And when I look at live video shrinks the timeline for building trust. But here's the thing. It also makes the ability to jeopardize trust just as great, right? And I always like to make sure this is something that we think about, is that building trust takes time. And I do believe that it's important to respect and own that trust and to make critical decisions to make sure that you're putting trust as one of your number one priorities. But it's also very easy to lose trust. And when I look at the world around us with so much change, and let's just face it, everyone's gonna get hacked. Everyone's gonna have to lay off somebody, or you're gonna have something bad happen to you. And when it comes to live video, you let people in. You have that two-way participatory conversation. When something bad happens or you jeopardize that trust, if you've already allowed people in and they knew who you are and they know what you're about, your ability to rebuild that trust is a lot easier than trying to do it afterwards. And I see for so many brands, they try to use live video when things are bad, or live video for only at events. And really live video is that connection to let people in. But if you're only doing it certain times, or you're only doing it when you need something, it's not gonna work. And so it's extremely important to think about, hey, if you have to sell your boss on live video, It's the relatability factor. It's the idea that people don't buy from a company because of the logo or because the company's been around for 60 years. They buy from the company because of the people at the company that make the company great, which is all about trust, which, they should all be on live video. And so when we look at that and we look at this idea of, well, okay, now I need to put myself out there. I understand, being myself. I understand that part of the reason I need to do this is to build trust. And I need to document, I need to create, I need to really, understand how to give people access. Now the piece comes down to and says, what's the mindset? Where do I walk, and how do I kind of make myself stand out? Because anyone can press the button, right? I mean, anyone can press the damn button. Anyone can go live. And I've said this for a long while. Like, the reason live video is great is because anyone can go live. The reason most live videos suck is, well, because anyone can go live. And so now it comes down to, what do I do that makes me unique? How do I stand out? Or even, what do I talk about on a consistent basis? And I will tell you, this top one here, extremely important to me, because it's really what I owe my entire career and success for. It's what I've helped every brand with. And what it really means is show you care, right? And in this world we're at right now, where we have all these distractions and all these things going around, our ability to show that we care about others has never been more important, has never been more valued. And so when we're looking about live video, think about ways that you can demonstrate the level that you care. And it doesn't just mean something fluffy, right? Like, let's say that you have a blog, or let's say you're a blogger, or content marketing is a big piece of your business model and the way you generate leads. A way that you can show you care is maybe every Friday after you release your new blog post, you get on live video and you explain to people the process that you went through, the research, the reason that you wrote that blog post, all the things that went into it. You let them know how much you care about that piece of content. You allow them to ask questions about the piece of content. Not only does that show that you care, and when people are reading it, now they have additional context, but when they're reading it, they now hear your voice. They now don't have to question, where did they get that data point for? Or, I know this is a white paper disguised as a blog post, right? Showing you care doesn't have to be fluffy and like rainbows and giving out flowers. And it's showing you care means allowing people to understand the thought process and the things that you're doing along the way. These next two, I think, are extremely important as well when it comes to standing out. And the first one is be transparent. The next one is be vulnerable. And being transparent and being vulnerable, to me, are essential for not only standing out, but for growing your connection and strengthening the trust that you have with your clients and with your audience. But being transparent doesn't guarantee trust. Actually, if you're one of those people that suck and you're transparent, we just get to decide that you suck faster. Like, that's pretty much what works on there. But if you're transparent and you allow people to kind of come along on that journey with you, not only does it keep you motivated, but it allows them to feel like they're a part of something. And think about it, we all are craving and have a desire to be a part of something. And so being transparent just allows that relatability to take another step forward. And one of the examples about being transparent is, kind of allowing people to know your process. You don't have to, it's not being whining, it's not complaining, it's not begging people to do things. Rather, it's keeping it real. It's, hey, this is where we are at today. I know I told you I was going to do this. These are the things that came up in my life, and hopefully I will get it out soon, right? And when I talk about consistency is extremely important, but you decide how to manage the expectation of consistency. You decide how consistent you want to be held accountable for. And when you're not going to be consistent, when you're not going to create that show, when you're not going to deliver what you asked on, right now, in our world, we have a tendency, I'm just going to ignore it and hope nobody says anything. Wrong. Being transparent, owning, hey guys, I know I promised you this blog post or this piece of content or this product to be ready or maybe a new feature to be out, but these are the things that we've been working on and we're going to need a couple more weeks. That little bit of transparency goes a long way. And then attached with that is that vulnerability, allowing people to kind of understand what you're going through. And I think right now, in this coronavirus world that we're kind of on our way out of at the moment, vulnerability has been that link, right? This has been a great reminder that it doesn't matter who you are, where you live, where your background is, that we are much more alike than we are different. And when you're thinking about live video, a lot of people are intimidated with live video because they're afraid of the unknown, of what someone's gonna say about them. And I can tell you, when I do live video, I always say like, hey guys, I know I talk fast and I move my hands a lot, but you're gonna have to listen faster, and it's just kind of who I am. Being vulnerable, putting that out there. Hey, I take Adderall, and sometimes it makes me lick my lips a little bit more because I have cotton mouth. So I apologize if that's what you guys are seeing here on this video, right? Owning those things about you, not only does it kind of make you relatable and kind of allow you to be human, but it also takes away the power of the trolls, of the bullies. Because yeah, hey, you can make fun of me that I talk fast. Guess what? I've already owned it. Guess what? I'm already okay with it. And I can tell you, the more that you care, the more that you're transparent, the more vulnerable you are, the less the bullies and the trolls will bother you, the less you'll be overwhelmed, and the easier it will be for you to think like a fan. Put yourself in those fan shoes, because the idea here is each one of these things are allowing you to be closer to your audience, so that when you're talking with them, you can say things like, we are going through this, and you can really relate at that ground level. But you cannot be relatable if you are not at a level where you can care, where you're not understanding the importance of transparency and vulnerability. And so when we move forward and we look at these things being key characteristics, we do have to look at that and say, where does this all fall in? And I can tell you, in my opinion, there's nothing more powerful than live video to make all that happen. So now we kind of thought of these ideas. I gave you some of the why. We talked about trust. Now it comes down to like, okay, well, what about live and maybe live and? And the reason I use this when I said live and is that a lot of people look at live video as just the live component. Or they look at live video as like, oh, I'm just gonna go live, right? Just because something is live does not mean it does not need to be strategic. Just because something is live and you can go live doesn't mean you should go live all the time. Like, people make that mistake all the time about press the damn button. Like, Brian, like, are you sure you want people to press the damn button all the time? I was like, no. I didn't say for them just to live stream all over the place. But when you're getting started, it's important to press the damn button. And when you have something to say and you've done all this work, but then you're like, I'm not sure what I should, maybe I shouldn't, I'll wait till tomorrow. No, you should press the damn button. And when I say that, when I think about live, people are like, well, Brian, I create so much other content. Brian, I'm already doing this, and this, and this. Like, live, I just don't have time for live video. Here's the thing. What you create live can not only be reused, but it also can solve multiple problems across multiple departments if you do this one thing first. And what I tell everybody is, before you ever press the damn button, before you ever go live, before you ever do anything, define what success looks like first. I want you to tell yourself, okay, this video is gonna be great if I cover these topics, if I get 10 or 15 people to watch it live, maybe one of my potential clients that I know has been tuning in. And you know what? If I get a couple good sound clips that I can use for marketing on my Instagram channel, or maybe, you know what? I'm gonna cover this topic live so that I can give it to a content team so that they can write a blog post about it. Or maybe, hey, I'm gonna create this live video because I don't know what blogs I should be writing about, and hopefully I'm gonna inspire the audience to ask me questions, and then I'm gonna take each one of the questions I get and I'm gonna turn it into a blog post. It's so important to define success before you press the damn button, because I can tell you, people will say, Brian, I'm using live video all the time. I've been doing a whole bunch of lives, but it's not really being successful for me. And I was like, oh, well, what does success look like for you for each one of your live videos? Like, what is your, oh, Brian, I'm not about vanity metrics. I'm not worried about that. No, I didn't say vanity metrics. Define success. And it could be word of mouth. It could be the number of viewers, maybe the number of comments. Maybe it could be you practicing your methodology so that when you make your next sales pitch or you're connecting with your team, you have that repetition down. For me, a lot of times I go live discussing a topic, and people don't realize this, but I'm testing out a portion of my keynote presentation. And I want to know is it getting a lot of comments? Is it getting a lot of questions? Is it getting no reaction at all? And then I take that back to the drawing board. And so you can use live for all kinds of different things. You can use it for a recruiting tool. Like, why not give a different employee access to a live video every day of the week for 7 days and then put that up on your website? And underneath that, on that about page where you say, hey, I trust my employees and this is a great place to work, most people have some like ridiculous produced video there. You can say, if you don't believe me, watch these videos from my employees that are part of my team, right? Define success beforehand. Next one here, which I know some people here are talking about, upcycling, right? Taking your live video and understanding, hey, these are components that I can turn into other pieces of content. Like, I will purposely, depending on the live video, not use certain phrases, maybe not say the date, maybe I won't say the exact number that's coming up. I'll try to keep some things evergreen. The other times I will do the opposite, right? Where I'll be very, to the matter of fact about when it is, because I want people to know the context of what it's all about, so that I can upcycle that into different forms. And so I can tell you, like, I do my podcast on live video. It's a 35-minute podcast. I'm talking into my microphone in this area right here. I can then take up my best 1-minute clip, and it's an Instagram video, right? My 2 minutes and 20 seconds that gives people like a little taste about the episode, but it's not like giving away the whole episode. Now it's a video for Twitter. Maybe I take my 5 best sound bites from my 5 last episodes and I turn that into a blog post where people are able to listen to different chunks, right? Like, there's so many different things you can do. And then, of course, my mantra of test, tweak, and repeat. I really, when I look at live video and I look at the power of live video and really where it all fits in here, I truly do believe that live video can be valuable for every single brand, but it will not produce video. It will not all of a sudden make you cool or make your products not suck or make your alarm not go off in the middle of your presentation. But it will allow you to connect and grow your following and really build that strength with your audience. And then probably even more important than all of those things is it allows us to explore and try new things. And in this world, live streaming is so forgiving and fun. And I guess where I want to take this to kind of pull this all together is that it also allows us to connect. And I feel like, over these last couple of months, February, March, and April of 2020, live video has been, our connection point. Rather, even if it's Zoom, maybe it's your, an Ecamm Live on Facebook Live, or, a YouTube series, or, something that you're launching maybe in one of your favorite private Facebook groups because you can't go to your local yoga studio, whatever it may be. It is that connection point. But there's something important to think about there when we're thinking about what this all means. And what I truly think about in this realm of possibility is that empathy starts with me. And I use a phrase that I call, we is greater than me. And when we're looking at live video, we look at the importance of like putting ourselves out there. And this is something that I talk a lot about, what I call digital empathy. And that's one of the keynotes that I give. Empathy starts with me, and what I mean by that is, if we want to make the world a more empathetic place, if we want to have a world that's not filled with fake news, bad news, and corona news, then it's not about breaking down those different other types. It's not about coming together as one giant people and making a movement. Rather, it's about owning our own story, letting people in so that they can be empathetic towards us, allowing them to understand who we are and what we're all about. The power of that is so amazing, because to be part of a great we, to be part of a great team, to make a movement, to make the world a better place, we first must be the very best self that we can be. And then we must own what we do know and what we don't know. And we must be willing to put ourselves out there. And I believe the greatest place to do that is leveraging live video, having those conversations. And I look at live video as participatory content. And I know that you can broadcast a keynote, or you can broadcast, an inauguration or a state fair. And I know that you can, make it one way. But the true power of live video is that conversation. And in my business model right now, because, technically I'm an unemployed keynote speaker because there's no stages to speak on, but I'm doing a lot in the virtual event space. And what I tell everybody, when it comes to virtual events is that if you're not going to leverage the participatory elements of live video, if you're not going to, engage, add comments, you don't have to answer every question, but if you're not going to incorporate the live aspect, the things that involve around live, then you shouldn't be live. You should produce it and then maybe do a Q&A afterwards that's live. But if you can be live, like I'm right now, I'm recording this live and doing all of these things here live, and I'm adding some production elements to the front end and the back end, you can really tap in to some of that true value that exists in the live video space. And this is where I think of it as participatory content, two-way communication. And for those that are out there, I know some of you are like, well, Brian, I don't want to get distracted when I have something good to say. Like, how do I do that? And here's what I'm gonna tell you. You have to manage expectations. So if you're one of the people that like, hey, if I get off on a tangent, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get back, what you do is you kick things off, let people, hey, I'm gonna talk to you about these 5 things. And for those that are watching, I'm gonna see your comments. Please, make sure to ask your questions, but I'm gonna take your questions at the end. I wanna make sure I cover these 5 things. And for those that are watching this live, if you could do me a favor and just let people know if they jump in late, just let them know that I'm gonna answer the questions at the end. I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. Simply doing that little bit there not only allows you the forgiveness and the freedom to hold questions to the end, but it also empowers the people that are watching to feel like, hey, they have a responsibility. It helps them have a desire to stick around. And it also kind of lets them know that, hey, I care about you. Because remember, I said showing you care is one of the most important pieces of live video when it comes to really embracing that power of what live video ultimately provides us. And I'll kind of look at this in a big sound, because for me, pressing that damn button can be hard, right? And it doesn't matter the medium. And I know for so many people, video, it can be very intimidating. And it's intimidating for me a lot of times still. And I don't go live as many times as probably I should, because there's sometimes where I will second guess myself or I'll overthink. But I truly do believe, and I hope that you guys that are out there believe this as well, is that there are so many great people doing great things in this world. Unfortunately, not enough of them are telling their story. Not enough of you are putting yourself out there. And so we do spend too much time on bad news and fake news. And if we can empower each other to press the damn button, put more good stories out to the world, we're not gonna have to worry about the bad news and the fake news, because the good news is gonna drown out that bad news. The bad news is gonna be the dust of all the good news and stories that are out there. And so I challenge everyone, hopefully that are watching this, that are paying attention, that not only press the damn button. It's not just about, hey, I need to go live, but it's about the different aspects and the ability to really leverage this connection that we have, right? Yes, there's a screen. Yes, we're talking to a camera. Yes, I'm in Virginia. You might be around the world, but there is this beautiful power that is available to us called the internet. And it's about having that conversation and remembering not to judge, rather to be more empathetic. It's remembering to care more than you sell. It's remembering to listen more than you market. And ultimately, it's important to allow yourself the freedom to be yourself. And I'm gonna leave you guys, I have 2 rules for live video. And these 2 rules are what I believe successful live video is built on. The first one, I think most of you guys know, perfection is a fairy tale. If you are trying to be perfect, you will always suck on live video, because you will never be successful and you'll never be happy. Perfection is a fairy tale. Nobody is perfect, even you that's nodding your head right now, but you really have a perfection complex. Get over it. Hey, no one's perfect. Things are gonna happen. Your alarm's gonna go off like mine just did during this recording. But if you can get over that need and desire to be perfect, and you can embrace that. And then my second one is, control is an illusion. You can't control what people say about you. You can't control what people do. You can only control yourself. You can only control the things around you, the person that you are. And when we think about that, when we look at all of these things, if you can worry about controlling yourself and letting the rest of it go as it goes, and you can get over your desire to be perfect, I truly do believe live video can be that game changer as it was for me. My success in my personal life, my business life, my ability to travel the world, to be able to do the things that I love, my ability to be able to connect and not only build relationships, but friendships and business partnerships over the last 5-7 years is a direct result of live video. If you're not sold on live video, if you're unsure of the power of it, right here, I'm living proof. I'm living proof on the importance of being yourself, putting yourself out there, pressing the damn button, telling your story. I never sought out to be a live video expert or a Facebook, live queen or king or any of that. What I realized was I have a story to tell. I love telling people my story, and I'm okay not being perfect, and I don't have to be the expert, but I enjoy giving and caring and putting things out there. And live video became the vehicle for me to do that because I was intimidated by YouTube and I was, overwhelmed by other platforms, but it allowed me to be real. It allowed me to be raw. And it allowed me to dress the way that I actually, hold on. That's 1 second. Oh yeah, that's better. What do you think, Ecamm? Yeah, much better. Whew. Be yourself. Tell your story. Remember that perfection is a fairy tale. Control is an illusion. Find ways to care. Be transparent. Be vulnerable. But more so than anything else, promise yourself that you'll take action. Because guess what? Many people, many people will listen to this. Lots of people will take notes. Very few people will take action. Those that are willing to take action, those that are willing to press the damn button, are those that are going to change the world, and I know each one of you are up for that task. I challenge you to press the damn button. Let's change the world together. My name is Brian Fanzo, better known as iSocialFans, digital futurist, keynote speaker, virtual event evangelist, and lover of the power of live streaming, and I hopefully inspired you to press the damn button. If you have questions for me, feel free to reach out to me on any channel. I am iSocialFans on every single channel. Pretty easy to find me. Pick your favorite channel. I create a lot of content. I'm a little bit everywhere. But I would love to hear from you. Love to answer any questions you may have on the space. So until next time, cheers, my friends. Press the damn button. Ooh, yeah. Did you like that? Did you like that, Ecamm? There you go. You can see Ecamm's up in the background. There's a little TikTok magic, right? I'm not too old for TikTok. I'm a pager-wearing millennial. That little snap of fingers and change the clothes. This is me being me. Hopefully you guys didn't like that. Hopefully you liked a little bit of the fun mixing between the live video with Prezi, a little bit of the production change, a little bit of the 360 camera that you guys can see that I'm using right here. And I even took you behind the curtain. Well, nothing too crazy behind that curtain, but a lot of fun. Thanks so much, Ecamm, for having me. Thank you for making me a part of this wonderful event. Huge fan of your tool. I feel like I've been promoting Ecamm to all of my fellow speakers, as not only does it empower us to press the damn button, but gives us lots of cool features, lots of cool abilities that really allow us each to find unique ways to use it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that session. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit different view than normal. And now it's time for me to, probably go do something else. Cheers, my friends.